When they both speak, our Srinivas and Narasimhamurthy, it's like on one side moon is speaking, on the other side sun is speaking. One is so soothing, cooling and healing, and the other side is so inspiring, motivating and exciting. But though their personalities are quite different from each other, yet their vision, their mission, their goal, their dedication and commitment to doing good to the society is the same. And that is why these wonderful educational institutions, healthcare institutions have come up in such a short time. In the last 12 years, these many super specialty hospitals, pediatric heart care hospitals in India and also abroad, these many campuses, educational campuses, a university, medical school, all these would not be possible without very, very sincere, dedicated efforts of everyone led by Sri Narasimhamurthy on one side and Sri Srinivas on the other side. And that is why they are examples for you to follow. You don't have to look for other examples outside. For you don't even need to read the book that I have given. It is just to trigger a thought process in you that can we also lead such lives? And can we also dedicate ourselves for a greater vision, a greater purpose? That is why the book was given as an inspired reading. But you have these people, these two are open books, you can read them all the time and get inspired by their lives. Decades of dedicated service to the humanity. And from their very young age, it's not that they came in after retirement when everybody is really not needed at home, nobody wants them at the office. Then they end up in ashrams to entertain themselves actually more than doing service. But here are these who have started in their teens with this kind of mission, and till date, after several decades, they are still continuing. They have not got tired and said, we have done enough and therefore we don't need to do more. And this is the kind of example and inspiration that sit in front of you. And that is why you have so much to learn and gain from the experiences of such stalwarts in the field of service. I feel energized and I feel reassured, I feel rejuvenated, I feel an extra power, strength when I'm sitting in between these two, flanked by these two stalwarts, because I know I'm sitting between the two best men on earth. And therefore I'm very proud of being a part of this trio that we are right now. But I see many more of Srinivasas and Narasimhamurthis in making out there in the audience. And that makes me even happier. For I know that if I'm sitting between one of each, I am sure a day will come when the hundreds will be on this side and other hundreds will be on the other side of mine. That day is also coming because of all of you who are getting prepared, who are getting ready for such a glorious day. So this is my joy, this is my happiness, this is my pride that our students are getting good name. And let me tell you, Sri Srinivas ji is not very charitable with his praise. He is not easily impressed, for he has seen a lot of life and a lot of people. And he can easily separate the chaff from the grain. So it is not so easy to get him to say things like this. And if he has said so, I think we have to take it really as a matter of pride that he felt that our students have done so well. And even in a matter of 7 days, they have shown their true nature of being dedicated, devoted missionaries. And that has made me really happy. You can only imagine these are the medical students, nursing and paramedical students who are studying here. And my only vision to start the medical school and all these other healthcare related studies was that someday these students will become our leaders in medical institutions. Wherever we build hospitals, these are the students who will take charge of it, lead them from the front and create inspiration for many more people to lead such lives of dedication and service to the needy and the poor. And I'm sure a day will come when I'll be able to send a lot of them to all these hospitals that you are presently running, and you will be opening many more in the future as time passes. And they are the boys and girls who are going to take charge of it. And we can have another celebration a couple of years down the line where we talk about how our medical, nursing, paramedical students have taken charge of our medical institutions, hospitals and healthcare institutions, and they're running it so well. And that is the day I would like to call Dr. Srinivas to speak again, when he speaks about these students who will become a part of our mission. I know we have a long way to go. We just begun a journey of 1,000 miles. but it begins with one step, first step. The first step we have taken right to this path, that we are here for a greater purpose, not just for an ordinary life like everybody else. We are blessed and destined to do great things in life, and that is why we are all here sitting under the same roof discussing such lofty ideals. Vidya dadati vinayam vinayadyati patratvam patratva dharmapnoti dhanat dharmam tata sukham, says a Subhashita. Education, true education, vidya, should create humility in you. So when Dr. Sri was telling your students are humble, I felt one part of this sloka has been realized. Vidya dadati vinayam. And vinayadyati patratva. This vinaya, this ability to be humble in all circumstances, because only a humble person can learn from others. That ability gives you deservedness, yogyate or patratva. Deservedness to learn and do things. And that he says that they are very capable, they demonstrated their skills, their knowledge. That makes me again happy. Patratvam. Patratvat dhanamapnoti, he says. This deservedness, this ability, this capability gives you dhana. Dhana in loose translation is money, but it's not truly money. There are all kinds of dhanas are there. Dhana is wealth, a treasure. And what is your wealth? Your wealth is your knowledge and the good name that you are earning by using that knowledge in the right way. So you are very wealthy people because you have wealth of knowledge with you. And that wealth has helped you to do so many good things, which is bringing you good name. That good name is also wealth. All other wealth disappears. Astiram jivanam loke, everything goes. Satyam kirti dvayam sthiram. Only truth and goodness, good name that you have earned remains with you. That is the true wealth. So our children have earned that wealth when he said that they have done well in whatever task was given to them. And therefore, they have that dhana of good knowledge and good name that they have earned. And dhanat dharmam, what do you do with all this wealth of knowledge, good name? Do dharma, it is said. What is dharma? Doing good. Good is dharma basically. Doing good to everyone in all places, at all times, in all possible ways is true dharma. That is true manava dharma, atma dharma. To do good, because God is God because he does good. No God would be God or would remain to be God if he does not or she does not do good. Therefore, my definition of God is very simple. Good is God, and in every good there is God. So whoever does good is God. And G-O-O-D good, G-O-D God, you know that formula. So all of you are training to become divine beings. Dhanat dharmam, you are viewing dharma. And that dharma is to do good to others. And dhanat dharmam tata sukham. And by doing good to others, what do you gain at the end? Sukha. True happiness is what is your reward by doing good to others, by following your dharma. This is the shloka which is actually being manifested. It is being realized in these institutions when I see the young boys and girls. And last 2 days have been very, very reassuring for me when I sat through multiple sessions and hours of presentations and discussions on what are the challenges in different campuses, especially rural campuses, and how do we address those, how these children have come up with very innovative solutions, found it on their own, how to solve their own problems. And they were so articulate, as Narasimhaji said, they were so confident. And these were kids who would not open their mouths. If you put them in front of 10 people, they will all shiver. These kind of kids now today sit and talk so confidently to everybody, and that is the gift of the education that they have received. And so many thousands of people from around the world have supported this mission, this education. Therefore, we could do what we could do for all of you. So I am grateful to every one of them who silently, quietly has supported and given this opportunity to each one of you. And we should never forget that. We should have gratitude in us for all that others have done for us. And of course, we cannot pay them back because they may not need our help, but we can pay it forward to many more children, many more needy, many more deserving students by passing on this gift of education. That is your duty. And when these 40 of them have taken charge of campuses, I'm sure you would remember Dasara time we had this transition. We called the parampara had to be followed. So we said that this Gurukulam parampara is being transferred now from the elders to the younger ones. So they are just 6-8 months into these campuses. But yet they have shown a lot of promise. So this gives me a lot of joy and confidence that irrespective of whether I am here, he is here or he is here, the mission will go on because you people are here and you will keep running it and pass on this legacy to the others. We also have a very wonderful news of university being recognized by national bodies which assess and acknowledge and recognize such institutions of excellence. And I'm proud to say that we haven't made extra efforts to get all these recognitions. These recognitions are coming to us because they're seeing the kind of impact this rural university is creating, the kind of innovations that we are doing and how it is helping the society and leading the country towards that vision of developed nation. So this is also something that I want to congratulate and bless all the university staff and students for this commendable achievement. As we sit here, tomorrow we also have a wonderful team of healthcare professionals, surgeons, doctors, anesthetists, perfusionists, nurses. They have come from a foundation from the United Kingdom. They are a part of that foundation, Healing Little Hearts, and they are going to perform a couple of pediatric heart surgeries and interventions in the coming days under the leadership of Dr. Hiremat and Dr. Nichani, who will be arriving tomorrow. And we are signing a memorandum of understanding with all our hospitals which are into pediatric heart care and this particular foundation for future support, education, training, and such activities related to child heart care services. So the team is here. I want to welcome all of you on behalf of our organization. And thank you in advance for the service that you're going to do in the couple of days that are coming. Now, I've met all these children. They were already admitted. And yesterday I could go around and see. And they have come from all parts of the country, like always happens in our institutions. They've come from everywhere for this needed care. We are looking forward to this wonderful mission and look forward to you coming back again and again and working with all our hospitals. We have now 5 pediatric heart care centers in India, 2 abroad. All of these are open to your services, your collaboration and partnership. So I look forward to signing the MOU tomorrow morning with your founder. And I'm very grateful for your time and your efforts to come all the way to help children of another country who really do not belong to you or your country, but you do it in the spirit of our mission's motto, which is one world, one family. So with that spirit, you have come here. Most welcome and many best wishes to you for your work. I also want to convey that this year has begun now as academically also, and I want children to focus well on their studies. At the end, you are here to seek education, of course, of both kinds, the academic as well as the spiritual education, and nothing is lesser or more for me. Both are like 2 eyes. If you want to have a balanced vision, you should have good academic skills, at the same time very good spiritual attitude and outlook whenever you do things. So these 2 are the hallmarks, para and apara vidya of our education. If that vidya you get, then vidya dadati vinayam, all this is going to happen. And you will do a lot of good to the world. This is all that is needed to be done. Just do good, that is all I say. What is your role? Anybody comes and asks me, Swami, what should I do? I say, do good. You're a doctor, you can do good being a doctor. You're a teacher, do good being a teacher. You're a singer, do good being a singer. You are an administrator, do good being an administrator. Whatever be the role God has given you. So we have so many people trying to do good in so many ways. All this world needs is good people. It doesn't need great minds and very intelligent and very astute people. It just needs people with hearts. People who have this passion to do good to others. And this is what we are trying to create over here, good people. So if Mudanali can be thought of as a facility, it is a manufacturing facility of goodness. It manufactures good people every year after year after year. And anybody who comes to this facility, as Srinivas said, whoever comes to this hall, comes as one person and goes out as another. What happens? They go through this process of being purified, of learning and getting inspired. And then they turn into better human individuals, better versions of themselves when they come and go through this system. And that is what we are trying to achieve. I really hope that all of you will utilize this opportunity to the best of your abilities. Your parents, your teachers, they all would understand what a wonderful blessing this is which has come your way. And this book, God Lived With Them, is something that I read as a student. I remember one of those winter holidays when I would not go home because Puttaparthi to Chhattisgarh is a long distance. There were no flights. We had to go by train, and there was no straight one train. You had to change 2 trains or 3 trains. And it was a long journey, sometimes 30 hours, 36 hours. So I thought, who wants to go home? I would sit here. And I did not know what to do. At that point of time, somebody introduced me to this book God lived with them. It really was very, very inspirational. Those disciples really struggled to just get the mission going. They were accused, they were ridiculed by the others, that because there was no such mission in India before them which they could follow, or there was no precedence for them. And their master had left, he was not around to guide them. This mission started after the master left. So with such inspiration, and it is to the credit of Swami Vivekananda, Swami Brahmananda, they took this as their life's purpose. And while Swami Brahmananda stayed and did what he needed to do in the mission in India, Swami Vivekananda went around the world, spreading the glory of Sanatana Dharma. And they did not have means like us. In fact, not that we have plenty of means, but I want to ensure that everybody has decent, comfortable, dignified life. The living for God should not be a excruciating, painful affair. It should be decently comfortable life. This is all I am trying to achieve. Not luxury, but not painful. So that idea that living for God, which was earlier, was a difficult and a very, very arduous and very testing kind of a life, at least that part I want to remove, saying live decent, comfortable lives, live lives as per the requirement of your position or whatever work that you're doing, and you can still live for God happily. Don't let the world get inside you. You be in the world. That is all the idea is. And this is what these monks have achieved. Of course, they had much difficult lives. And what Swami Vivekananda told me, that was an experience, that was a vision that I had. And it is true that we are being looked after much better, much better. God has been very kind and gracious to us. In all our institutions, there is not a rupee that we take as a fee. Whether it's a patient who comes from rich or poor background, we don't even ask a question. Everybody is allowed to have access to healthcare, quality, top-class healthcare, world-class healthcare. Our students don't have to pay a rupee for anything. Their food, snacks, stay, clothes, even toiletries and simple things, basic things also are looked after by the institution. They just come with a pair of clothes. So also in the medical school, so also in nursing, paramedical. Just now Dr. Srinivas was telling that in Mumbai also we are starting a healthcare course for school pass-outs who can get trained into many of these paramedical and allied healthcare skills. Again, it's completely free of cost. Where does this happen? Which spiritual organization does this, you tell me? I was in a CCA some time back, and there is this sister side of the Franciscan order, which is called Saint Clara's order. And she was telling me that stories about Saint Francis and what they have heard from their seniors and elders, that how every morning everybody will gather and they will all go to different streets to beg for food. And everybody has to go and beg. If nobody begs, they don't get to eat that day. And they all beg and come and collect all the food, and then it is distributed to everybody so that everybody has their lunch. And whatever, one meal a day they would have. And that is what the method is. And this is hard work, their lives. They lived in cold caves and no fans, no lights, no electricity, no air conditioning, nothing. They had no access to any of these facilities of transportation, communication, healthcare. Nothing. They just lived for God all the time. And this also were the monks of Ramakrishna Mission or so many other institutions that I've seen. They led very hard lives. I am not in favor of that. I'm not at all in favor of calling a spiritual life as a very hard life. No. Spiritual life should be a decently comfortable life. Of course, it should not slide over to the other side of luxury and extravagance. But at the same time, it should be what it should be. And that's why I take care of the children. I ensure that nobody lacks anything. Whatever they need to do, whatever work they have got to do, they are provided that without any delay. Whatever it takes for the trust to do, we do. And this is also for the staff. In all our institutions, no staff pays any electricity bill or even maintenance bill or even plumbing or any of these issues. They just have to work completely, fully dedicated to the mission. All other things are looked after. When we did not have a creche for children, a creche was built. So because the women teachers have their small kids, who will look after them? So a separate creche. So also primary school was started here, which was not on my agenda because I was always about residential Gurukulam system. But then our staff said, we have children, there are plenty of them who sit in that corner, children's corner. And they all needed to have some education within this premises so that the parents are free to do seva wholeheartedly. Otherwise, they'll be worried about picking the child, dropping the child into a school outside, a primary school or a kindergarten facility. But that also was created over here. Why?
so that those people also can be relaxed, they can be assured that their children will be looked after during the day, and during which time they can do their seva activities without any problem. So every single thing has been taken care of. I don't think any spiritual organization has gone this far to look after the comforts and conveniences of the missionaries, of the spiritual aspirants. All I expect in return is only one thing: do good. Do good, kuru punya mahoratram smaranityam anityatam. Do good day and night and remember what is real, what is unreal, what is truth, what is untruth, what is divine, what is not. Just these two things if you follow, that's all is required, and we can truly change the world. And I, not boasting, but I have studied a lot of organizations because I had to learn from them, at least learn the mistakes that were made so that we correct them and do the right thing now. And I have learned, and that is how this organization, all the things were redesigned to suit the mission as well as the missionaries. And while you read the book, God lived with them, it's important that you get inspired to live for God. A book should come out on you people, not God lived with them, but they lived with God. They lived like God. That is the kind of book should be written on all of you whenever you reach those heights. But the idea is that each one is God, potentially God. Everybody has divinity within. It just needs to come out. It needs to get expressed. What comes in its way is our selfishness. If selfishness is removed, the divinity will shine forth as selfless good to all. That is all our mission and our motto is. I am looking forward to a day, as I said, when our MBBS students would have graduated, post-graduated, would have joined our various healthcare institutions, and maybe 10 years down the line, our Dr. Srinivas will be sitting here and saying that all these medical students who have graduated, who have joined these institutions, they're running it so well that truly I'm proud that such students are now our missionaries and future leaders. I'm looking forward to an event like this 10 years down the line, and I'm sure our MBBS students and nursing and others would not disappoint me. I've also got very good set of DNB students. They are also working. They went to Fiji to participate in one heart care mission. And I will send them, once they are little trained, I will send them to all Sanjeevani hospitals and start working with the teams there and develop this culture as well as develop the skills that you need to have for serving the society. So again, blessings to everyone. Special blessings to my future leaders, the 40 of them who had come today. I really enjoyed being with them. I enjoyed listening to them. I enjoyed discussing with them. And as I said, today I'm not discussing this as a master and a disciple or a teacher and a student. I'm today discussing with you all these issues as colleagues, as equals. And that is already you have achieved in such a short span of time. And imagine if 25 years and you are here, what would be your next 25 years going to be like? So a lot of blessings to you, your parents and everybody else. Please take back this blessing to all your campuses. Convey to the students that I really would like to come and see them. Whenever I find time, I will try to visit all the campuses. And hopefully in the next 2-3 months, I would visit the campuses. So convey blessings to all the students and parents too. Very happy.